Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. This is going to be my group reading in celebration of Arthur Waite's birthday. On October 2nd, we're going to be able to celebrate Arthur Waite's birthday. Now, it's been decades since he's passed. Arthur died in 1942. So there's generations of kids who have no idea who he is. Yet, that generation is continuing to be impacted by tarot and all that tarot offers and provides for us. Now, no matter what your personal opinions are on Arthur Waite as a person and what decisions and actions he did in his lifetime, no matter what that is, we do need to celebrate his brainchild of tarot. He took a game, a card game, and made it something so much more. Giving a voice to that whisper, giving a picture to the wind. It was his idea, and with the help of course, Pamela Coleman Smith, they were able to create that first tarot deck. And that tarot deck has impacted and influenced illustrators, artists, and creators since. So today, we are going to gain guidance and wisdom from a man who, no matter what choices he made in his lifetime, well, has positively impacted our everyday. And this is the spread I created last year for him. I wanted to start to celebrate a man who at least made one very impactful and positive choice. I know that there's a lot of conspiracy and he didn't always make the best choices. And when all is said and done for us, I hope people don't scrutinize my life as much as we've scrutinized and kind of condemned Arthur. That said, I think that this spread and his wisdom is still, well, has great merit. Now, like always, I will have a link below to this spread so you can reference back and, well, connect in with this spread whenever it is you need. And, well, of course, there was really only one deck that really fits well with a reading for Arthur Waite, and that's his original deck. And, of course, there's a link below to this deck. So should you want that copy of, well, history, or are thinking of learning tarot, this is the deck for you, as so many more, well, contemporary and artistically inspired decks are based off this original deck. Now, the selections I have for this reading, I have, of course, Howlite, Smoky Quartz, and Snowflake Obsidian. I want you to quickly choose whichever of these crystals resonates with you the most right now. Head into the description box below, and I have timestamps there. I want you to click on the correlating timestamp, and it'll take you straight to your reading, and I will see you there, my friends. Hello and welcome, my Howlite friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full tarot deck here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what Arthur Waite wants to share with my Howlite friends. So of course we're going to start off on question 1. What message does Arthur have for my Howlite friends? the Ace of Wands. Aces, of course, are those gifts. And those gifts that come from the universe and those high vibrational beings. I always see the Ace of Wands as that match that's just about to erupt, just about to be struck, and that it's going to burn bright. It's fueled by passion, and it's fueled by anticipation and excitement. It's those new beginnings. And there's a lot of them right now. We have many of these little matchsticks scattered and hidden within plain sight. We just need to be mindful, and we need to pick them up and start igniting them and allowing that inner passion to erupt and fuel us. It helps with that anticipation and that excitement and drive that we have to go forward and to greet that unknown like a blaze of fire. Arthur Waite wants to remind you that you have that passion, you have that drive. It's up to you to take hold of that match and strike it. I know it's hard to do right now. Many of us are still feeling really sluggish and overwhelmed. However, we need to strike that match, and we need to allow those inner passions to fuel us, to invigorate us and inspire us to go forward and to get out of this kind of stuck gunkiness that we find ourselves in. Now we're going to head off onto question 2. And the next couple questions are about the deck. Anytime that I have connected in with Arthur Waite, I have found that, well, of course, we head right back into this deck. It depicts exactly what Arthur wants to share in a very clear manner. Now, if you're trying this spread at home, don't worry, you don't have to use Rider Waite. You can use any deck. They will work. I find that, of course, Arthur is very, driven with this deck. I've also found very good connection with any of the descendants or offshoots of the Rider Waite. And with tarot, it's about 95% of the decks. When they're based in the same suits and they have similar pictures and symbols within the card, you can start to see. A lot of the decks I use are very clearly a Rider Waite derivative. This spread, of course, will work with oracle cards. It's just it might be a little bit harder for Arthur to pick just one. You may have a number of cards jump out at you. It's okay. Allow it to happen, embrace it, and start to connect in with your cards in a different way. So we're going to head off onto question 2. What guidance does the deck have for my Howlite friends? The Four of Swords, the Rest and Rejuvenation card. We need to inspire ourselves forward, yes. However, we need to balance things out. We need that inspiration, and we also need that self-care. A lot of times with the Ace of Wands, or any ace, it's that very intense, invigorating, and exciting energy. However, without some care and due diligence on our part, similar to a match, it will go out. It has a short attention span. We need to place this match onto other areas of our lives to bring in that blaze. We need it to catch rather than fizzle out. And one of the ways it will catch is by taking care of ourselves, nurturing us, and allowing ourselves a little bit of time to, well, unwind and take that deep breath before embarking on a very exciting new adventure. Let's go on to question 3. What obstacle blocks my Howlite friends from understanding the information the deck offers? The Page of Wands. Now, pages, of course, they're that childlike, innocent energy. That wand, again, we've got that inner flame, that passion, that inner fire. Like anything else, when you have a small child, they're easily distracted. And that's what's happening. There's so much going on that we're feeling taxed. We're feeling stretched. We don't know where to send that energy. We have a very small amount. We don't know where to direct it. It's that uncertainty and, well, that little bit of ADHD that we're dealing with. We don't know where to go or how to get there. We need to start to calm this page, focus him, and connect him in to, well, that very shiny fire. Those exciting new aspects. And keep him focused. Holding yourself accountable and directing yourself. And if that means getting pretty clear and concise with ourselves, then that's what we have to do. It's that focus that this page needs and that direction. We need him to focus in so we can explore and connect into this passion and this creativity like we've never done it before. We can turn him from an obstacle to an ally, with some discipline. And I don't mean being harsh with yourself. I mean just direction. Giving yourself tasks to complete. And I would suggest smaller tasks. Again, we have that very chaotic energy. Our brain is very overwhelmed. Small tasks with direction to get the job done. So again, we don't have that initial spark fizzle out on us. Then on to question 4. How can my Howlite friends connect more with the deck? The High Priestess, the second card in the Major Arcana. We're looking at the most intuitive card in the deck. The High Priestess, well, she is connected in to Tarot, the scroll of the universe, the scroll of wisdom. She's connected in to that lunar energy that helps us nurture ourselves so we feel, again, stronger and more able to take that guidance and embrace that wisdom. And it's in this nurturing energy that we're going to find that connection. That connection to what is being shared with us. We need to be less critical and judgmental of ourselves and allow ourselves to grow. Allow ourselves to stumble. Embrace where we are, nurture it, and give ourselves that time and energy to start to connect in, to start to work with the deck. Like I said, we need to task this page. He's all over the place. Small little sessions where you're playing with your cards, you're starting to connect in, and you're, most importantly, enjoying the process. It shouldn't be something that has to happen. It's something that we should want to happen. We're excited about it because we know that once we are connected in with these cards, we're going to gain that guidance and that wisdom. We're going to see beyond her veil. The High Priestess is a gatekeeper. And once we're able to connect in and work with our deck, that's when we're going to see this veil dissipate, and we're going to be able to take that rite of passage, start to really understand that wisdom that needs to be shared with us. Let's head on to question 5. What information are my Howlite friends missing that will help them on their journey? The King of Swords. Kings, they're the most developed personality of the suit. They have the most control and the most power. The King of Swords, well, he has the most knowledge. He gains that insight and that wisdom, well, from every source there is. The swords are connected into the element of air, which also has that connection in to that intuitive insight. He uses his familiars, those birds, the butterflies, all those animals and beings that have flight, and he receives knowledge from them. His throne is limitless. There is no ending. There's no top here. It goes straight up into the heavens. He has that connection in. It's not like the High Priestess or the King of Cups, where you're looking at that intuitive connection. He just receives the knowledge. It just comes to him. And literally, his throne taps into the collective consciousness. So he downloads that information on the fly. And it's that trust in his claircognizance, where it is he just knows, that he gains that insight, he gains that wisdom, and he's able to make a very clear determination. He uses his critical thinking skills and his assessment skills to truly understand that situation or event, and he makes the decision in his best interest. He's not swayed by emotion. That emotion has no place in his world. The suit of swords, to me, is a very Vulcan-like suit, especially when you get into that royal court. You have that Vulcan mind in varying stages of evolution. This is Mr. Spock at his highest. He is not comprehending or factoring in emotion. It just is. It's very black and white. And we need a little bit of that right now. The more we're able to critically think about things, take that step back, assess what's truly happening, connecting into that collective consciousness, gaining that insight, and making the decision based on knowledge rather than emotion, we're going to make decisions that are for our greater good right now. There's too many factors at play. We have too many energies, too much going on globally. We need that critical thinking and assessment skills. And that's our best way forward. Let's go on to question 6. What obstacles block my Howlite friends from understanding this misinformation? And I can tell you that the King of Swords does not miss information. It's like he is an information sponge, and it doesn't ever happen. Nothing gets by him. His head is very clearly above those clouds, and anything that comes near him, he sends his friends out. Make sure he gets that dispatched right away. The Hanged Man. The 12th card in the Major Arcana So let it go, guy. What is standing in our way are those blinders, that emotion. We're getting caught up in that every day. We're not able to take that step back, take that breath, let go of that baggage, gain that knowledge, gain that insight to make the decision that is, well, in our best interest. That burden is causing added confusion and uncertainty. We don't feel able to take that breath, that step back, to use our skills and our abilities. We're reacting from our ego perspective, which in many cases adds more uncertainty and, well, in many cases, frustration, and in many cases, frustration and conflict. It's added to our lives, added to that experience and what we're trying to, well, let go and overcome. It's taking that step back, giving yourself that moment, that breath, and using your brain rather than just listening to your screaming ego. That obstacle is that baggage. We know that the more we're listening to and following those critical thinking skills, our intuition, that high vibrational guidance, we're going to get to the point that we need to much quicker. It's the obstacle that's going to really make us stumble and fall. Let's end off on question 7. What blessing does Arthur have for my Howlite friends? Death, the 13th card in the Major Arcana. We need to release. It's not just about letting go and getting out of your head and getting out of your way. It's about actually releasing and unfurling yourself, degunking yourself from some of this, well, gunk, this low vibrational stuckness, this uncertainty, the fears, the heartache, those pieces and aspects that are holding you back. The more we're able to follow the guidance and that wisdom of the high vibrational, well, beings and universe, the more we're going to align to our higher purpose, to our soul's deeper journey, helping us to, well, walk away from some of this everyday heaviness. We need to release what's not working so we can get way back here. Way back here, we're looking at a gatekeeper. This is the same pillars that appear in the moon. We need to get here so that we can embrace that new day, embrace the abundances that are to come. Once we get out of this frustration, this sadness, this fear, this stickiness that we're stuck in. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what Arthur Waite and his amazing deck want to share with you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. And I know lots of people have Patreon pages. And of course, mine too has lots of tiers and perks. And those perks, you're looking at free readings and healings from me. Also, I have a Patreon exclusive library of videos just for my supporters. In appreciation of those who support me, I support them with added support just for them. I've provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Howlite friends. Hello and welcome, my Smoky Quartz friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full tarot deck here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what Arthur Waite wants to share with my Smoky Quartz friends. So, of course, we're going to start off on question 1. What message does Arthur have for my Smoky Quartz friends? The Queen of Cups. This very beautiful and powerful queen has a lot to share. Of course, you're looking at the second most intuitive card in the deck. The Queen of Cups is the everyday personification of the High Priestess. It talks about using your intuitive skills in your everyday, using that guidance and that wisdom to improve our lives for our greater good. Arthur Waite is encouraging you to use your skills in your everyday. It's not just the intuitive power and connection. It's that guidance and wisdom and how it's going to support you in prospering and creating that abundance that you so need right now. Additionally, the Queen of Cups is one of the most creative cards in the deck. She has this beautiful ornate cup. She's the only one in the suit of cups that has such an elaborate cup. Most of them just have that gold gauntlet. She has created this cup using her intuitional skills and the guidance of those high vibrational beings. Of course, with the Queen of Cups, that connection into water, we have that mermaid connection. And she also has, it's kind of hard to see in the cut of the card, the presses that they had to use in 2010 weren't the best. But these are angel mermaids. That angelic energy is there, that intuitive energy. And it's in that intuitional creativity that we're going to be able to express ourselves and connect into some of these abundances that we have and, we need. Arthur is reminding us of the importance of giving ourselves time and connecting in to that creativity, expressing yourself, gaining that guidance, and starting to get out of your head so the universe and high vibrational support team can come in and do what they do best. Get us out of this stuck rut. Bring in that abundance. Bring in those manifestation pieces that we so need right now. So let's go on to question 2. Now, this is where we're kind of getting into Arthur's deck. Anytime I've kind of worked with Arthur or channeled Arthur, we end up working with this deck. This spread does connect well with obviously the Rider-Waite deck or any of its derivatives or descendants. And it's an easy check-in to see if you have a Rider-Waite descendant or if it's descendant from another branch off. About 95% of the decks in tarot are descendants of the Rider Waite. They'll have the 21 major arcana. You're going to see that same depiction and symbols that the decks I use in my tarot readings depict. I have a few that don't use the full Rider Waite scheme and creation. However, there's not many of them. It's that symbolism and that connection that we're looking for. Of course, this spread will work with oracle cards as well. However, because we are channeling Arthur here, that Rider Waite is going to be a lot more, well, clear-cut for you. So the second question, of course, being, what guidance does the deck have for my Smoky Quartz friends? The Two of Cups. We remain in the cup suit, that intuition and emotion. Of course, with that two, we're looking at duality, that choice. In the Two of Cups, of course, you're talking about that connection. Now, this isn't about that relationship piece, not with an external person. We're looking at that relationship and balance between yourself and your higher self, between the feminine and the masculine. And if you're like me, it took me a while to figure out which one of these figures was female and which was male. They're kind of androgynous, and the fact that they both have kind of a similar dress type didn't help. However, the woman is on, so it'll be on the left here with the blue, and the man in the yellow. The fact that you can't tell and that they kind of have similar hairstyles does lend well to the interpretation and connection in to that relationship between yourself and your higher self. And of course, that balance between feminine and masculine. The deck is encouraging you to work on and strengthen that relationship. It's going to work on and strengthen that intuitional skill that you have. And like I said before, that intuitional wisdom and guidance is going to help bring in that abundance, bring in that fulfillment that we're needing right now. That abundance, let's be honest, a lot of us need that extra support now more than ever. All right, let's head on to the third question. What obstacle blocks my Smoky Quartz friends from understanding the information of the deck? The Queen of Swords. Similar to her sister above, this queen, she uses her knowledge to keep her head above the clouds. And right now, we don't feel like we've got our head above the clouds. Actually, we feel lost in those clouds. We're not able to use our critical thinking. We're so caught up in the instability and all that's going on in the world around us that we're not able to gain that wisdom, that guidance from the high vibrational beings. The Queen of Swords has gained her knowledge from first-hand experience. She uses air as an element of support. And air also brings the wisdom and that guidance, well, from those higher vibrational beings. A lot of times, that whisper on the wind is those high vibrational beings trying to support us, guide us. She too has an element of intuition. We've got that feminine's intuition in play and her use of the air element. That wisdom, no matter where she's obtained it from, she uses it to her advantage to use those amazing critical thinking skills, those assessment skills, to determine the right course. She doesn't allow that emotional impact, that instability, to have any play in what her decisions are. She doesn't allow them to impact her. And it's in that very clear and bold move that we're struggling with. We are so caught up on what's happening and caught into those fears, and a lot of that smoke and illusion that's occurring right now. Taking that time and, well, getting our head out of that confusion will help us to connect into those missed messages, connect in to that wisdom and that guidance that's being offered to us. On to question 4. How can my Smoky Quartz friends connect more with the deck? The Queen of Pentacles. You guys are getting a queen-tastic reading here. Of course, these beautiful queens, they're the 13th card in the Minor Arcana. And when you have that multiple 13, the angels are telling you to try and stay calm. You need to calm your mind so that you can receive those intuitive messages and ideas. Very much in tune with what the Queen of Swords and Cups had already sent to you. Getting your head above those clouds and receiving that amazing support and guidance. Now, the best way for us to proceed forward, well, with any deck, of course, has to be the Queen of Pentacles. Grounding ourselves before we use those decks, nurturing ourselves, taking time to grow with that deck, to understand and, well, to get the energy and feel. And that feeling comes from not only the energy of the cards, but through their pictorial depictions of the different suits and, well, the card itself. Nurturing your skills and your abilities while you nurture and connect in with the deck. I always encourage my students to play with their cards, get to know them. Check out all 78 cards, or if you should have a deck that has a few extra, the full deck, so that you have that understanding and connection in with the deck. You get that foundation that you need to be able to, well, understand the wisdom and insight that the cards want to share with you. And then off to question 5. What information is my Smoky Quartz friends missing that will help them on their journey? Death, the 13th card in the Major Arcana, that release. One of the most important elements and pieces that we're missing is those aspects that need to be released. They're not serving our greater good. They're actually causing more chaos and confusion. We're missing those messages, that guidance on not only how to better release, but what other aspects and pieces. We all have those vices that we know, well, we should probably release. They don't serve us. However, there is familiarity, and we find stability in that familiarity. And releasing them causes that anxiety, that fear. What am I going to do when I don't use that skill, that ability, or that, well, coping mechanism, what have you. We need to start to connect in and pay attention to that information. Taking those baby steps forward on how to release those aspects that aren't serving you. The less weighted down we are, the more we're going to be able to align ourselves to a life that brings us more fulfillment, and more abundance. And of course, more joy, because we're connecting into aspects and pieces that we wanted to experience and learn. We're using our skills and our abilities in ways that we were always supposed to. So let's go on to question 6. What obstacles block my Smoky Quartz friends from understanding these mixed messages? The Five of Swords. We're looking at that conflict, that challenge. And of course, that challenge primarily brought on by our ego, acting all smug and in control while we're feeling confused and uncertain. We're taking that egocentric standpoint, and we're not caring how that impacts others. We're not able to get out of our head. We're not able to get out of this confusion and see and understand those messages that are being shared with us. It's amazing how impactful this little voice that's deep down within you can be. So the biggest challenge you're being faced with, my Smoky Quartz friends, is not being so impacted or swayed by your ego. We can't get rid of it. It's a part of us. However, we can lessen its hold and release its power from us when we stop reacting and we start using that head, those critical thinking skills. Functioning from our head for a while, where we are being able to analyze and be pretty critical of the way we're responding. When I say critical, I don't mean that we are being negative, that we are just being very clear with what it is we're doing. We're assessing and using that sword of knowledge to cut through some of this uncertainty, cutting away that control that our ego has on us. We want to stay in that high vibration and not start to bad talk or belittle or degrade ourselves. We just want to be honest with ourselves and start to live that authentic life, being you and not allowing that ego to run amok. And we're going to end off on question 7. What blessing does Arthur have for my Smoky Quartz friends? The Hanged Man. The 12th card in the Major Arcana. The Let It Go guy. We need to let go of some of these preconceived notions. Letting go of some of that everyday grind. And allow the universe to guide and direct us. Starting to open doors and opportunities that we never, would have seen before. We were too caught up in, the everyday. The more we're able to look past and bring our head up into that beautiful clear space where we're able to release that hold and, well, bask and trust in the universe's amazing wisdom and guidance, the more we're going to see those shifts occur. Things will start to fall into place, and you're going to see that vibration rise and your manifestations coming forward, because you're able to see them fully and clearly. When we relax and embrace these amazing opportunities, the more the universe is going to reward us. The more we get out of our head, embrace that creativity, the stronger this hold will become. And of course, that manifestation, those abundances, they start to multiply and increase. And that's exactly what we need right now. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and that you're able to gain some insight and direction into what Arthur Waite and his amazing Rider-Waite deck want to share with you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight and healing is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. I know lots of people have them, and of course my Patreon page, I've got lots of tiers and perks. And those perks, we're looking at healings and readings from me. Additionally, I also have a Patreon exclusive library of videos that I've brought out just for my supporters. I enjoy supporting those who support me. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Smoky Quartz friends. Hello and welcome, my Snowflake Obsidian friends. This reading is just for you. Now, like always, I have the full tarot deck here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what Arthur Waite wants to share with my Snowflake Obsidian friends. So, of course, we're going to start off on question 1. What message does Arthur have for my Snowflake Obsidian friends? The Ten of Cups. Of course, the Ten of Cups, we're looking at a family card. That positive, supportive group. Whether it be birth family or people that you have adopted into your family. Family members that are on the physical plane or have passed over, are in the astral plane or part of your astral family. We have this amazing supportive group that is there for us, has always been there for us, and will continue to be there for us. To say it's been a challenging year, I think might be a bit of an understatement. Knowing that no matter what storm we weather, we have these beautiful rainbows and supportive people encouraging us and celebrating all that we do. We need to remember to connect in, not only to receive that support, but to also share in and support them. We can't always take. We need to be part of that very supportive and balanced community where you both give and take. Remembering the importance of this support and utilizing it to our advantage so that we can, well, feel stronger and more able to take on any of those challenges to come. And of course, my Snowflake Obsidian friends, we can't forget that we're heading into October. That veil is thinning So we have that ability to connect in to those passed on loved ones and that astral family. They are there for us. We just need to, reach out and touch base with them. Ask them for that support. Connect in with them. And as October progresses and we get deeper into October, you're going to find that that connection is a little bit easier with each passing day. That connection is a little bit easier with each passing day. It's an added benefit of October, and one that we can't just walk away from. We need to embrace, and we need to bring it in and incorporate it into our October practice. Let's go on to question 2. So for the next couple questions, we're actually going to be talking about the deck. Anytime I channel Arthur, I find that, we head back to the deck. It is his, baby, if you will, and there's a lot of insight and information that he can share quite quickly. Now, if you're trying this spread at home and you don't have, the Arthur Waite deck, that's okay. You can use this spread with any card, any deck. I find that Arthur, of course, connects in really well with the original Arthur Waite. However, I have used this spread with the derivative or descendant of the Arthur Waite. And many of us have one of the descendants of the Arthur Waite deck. That's about 95% of the decks that are published today are based off this deck. Or if you use like traditional playing cards, or if you're in the Thoth system, you can still channel Arthur and his information and wisdom. However, you may find that he is choosing multiple cards because there is a discrepancy and there may not be that one card that incorporates all the elements that he wants. He may need multiple. So let's head off onto question 2. What guidance does the deck have for my Snowflake Obsidian friends? The Seven of Swords. Now, sevens in tarot can be a bit of a challenging card. They're not as challenging as a 5 because sevens, they're a lucky number. Sevens have that element of victory. With some work and some dedication, we can be victorious. That sword, we're looking at truth. We're looking at the cold, hard truth in the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords literally talks about someone trying to get away with a little too much. And this card encourages us to be honest and mindful of practice. Either people, and usually more importantly ourselves, trying to get away with a little bit too much. This is usually brought on by that ego. It's puffing and fluffing us up, trying to add false security to you, that level of protection. Getting away from that authentic self and getting away from the truth and the heart of the matter. Problem is that there's always evidence left behind. There's always that trail that leads back to that authenticity. The deck is encouraging us to go back to that authenticity. The more truthful and authentic we are, the more we're able to gain wisdom and knowledge that we're seeking, that we signed up for, that in this life we wanted to learn. However, at the moment, our ego has us too, protected. We are missing messages and key aspects and pieces of what it is we signed up for. We're missing that opportunity to connect in and live that soul's deeper purpose, experiencing and learning all that we wanted. Let's go on to question 3. What obstacles block my Snowflake Obsidian friends from understanding the information the deck offers? The Knight of Cups. Knights are that adolescent, no fear energy. That go big or go home energy. That cup, we're looking at intuition and emotion. We're getting so caught up on charging forward and looking good and keeping up that very shiny and pristine exterior and avoiding that conflict of emotion, avoiding the fear and the heartache. The Knight of Cups has the prettiest and most pristine armor. He's seen the least battle and work. And that's exactly our biggest obstacle. That avoidance and that need to be seen in the public eye in a certain way. Our ego has puffed us up and has really amplified that need for exterior personification. The biggest obstacle is, well, us, our beliefs, and how we're being driven and guided by our ego, rather than that high vibrational and intuitional energy of the cup. We're so focused in and connected into that low vibration, we're missing that wisdom and that insight that the higher self has to share with us. It's a shift that only we can make. Let's go on to question 4. How can my Snowflake Obsidian friends connect more with the deck? The Seven of Wands. Now, like I said before, sevens with some hard work, you're going to be victorious. That wand, we're going into that inner fire, that passion, that flame. And most importantly, with the Seven of Wands, it's that not backing down. It's using our courage, our determination, that inner flame, and willpower to our advantage, and no matter what challenges and obstacles come forward, we're ready to bat them back. We're ready to take that challenge on. And that's exactly how we need to be when it comes to working with our decks. We need to have that passion and determination to connect in and not be afraid of what the deck may share with you. Rather, taking that wand in hand, that passion, that fire, that determination, and gain that guidance, that insight, that support that we're looking for. That's why we use tarot, that connection. It helps map things out, helps give us an understanding of what's happening and how we can go forward, whether we choose the same path or we change it. Again, that's an individual piece, and it's obviously driven by that individual situation. That connection, that determination, and most importantly, that determination to not back down, to take this challenge and embrace it. Now, obviously, we do have that double 7. In angel messages, when you have that multiple 7, the angels are telling you you're on the right track to keep going. That's very true when it comes to tarot. It's a skill that needs to be, well, repeated, needs to be used. It needs to be brought out and, well, stretched and challenged a bit. There is no cookie cutter way of reading tarot. We have to add our individual flair, our individual passions to what it is we do. That's when you really are able to connect in to that deck and, most importantly, that insight and wisdom that's trying to be shared with you. Let's move on to question 5. What information is my Snowflake Obsidian friends missing that will help them on their journey? The Moon, the 18th card in the Major Arcana. It's full of unknown, mystery, and of course, uncertainty. We're taught at a young age that everything scary comes out at night. So we are taught to be fearful of the moon. But when you look at the moon and all that it does for us, it's one of the most, well, physically impacting bodies in the heavens, in the cosmos. It impacts the tides, that balance of domestic and, well, our wilder side. It can brighten up the sky, and it definitely brings many gifts and blessings with it. Again, we go back to that courage to be able to walk down the path and embrace that moon and the lunar deities that, well, guide it. One of them that's very impactful in tarot is, of course, the High Priestess. She's connected in to this lunar energy, the nurturing and guidance that it can provide for us. Again, though, it goes back to that individual desire and, well, courage. It's up to us to walk down that path, to step through this threshold, to step through that rite of passage in understanding the gifts that are being offered to us. It's not a guarantee, it's an offer. We need to embrace it. Let's go on to question 6. What obstacles block my Snowflake Obsidian friends from understanding these missed messages? The Page of Wands. Now, pages, younger sibling to the knight, and they're that childlike, innocent energy. They're full of inquisical, playful energy, which also can be a blessing and very much a challenge. They are all over the place, they lack direction, they lack insight. They're fantastic when there is support, because you have an alternative way of thinking of things. However, this is a challenge. They're undirected, they're all over the place. Think of children in a park. They are running around and they are crazy. And this is the energy that the Page of Wands brings us when it is challenging us. And that's very true right now. We have this passion, we have this desire to move forward, but there's so much. You just don't know where to direct that energy and your time. You feel like you're being stretched thinner and thinner. It's when you need to take that time for you, and don't take it as such a big aspect. And just like children, it's easier for us to, well, absorb smaller aspects and pieces rather than larger pieces. Larger pieces feel like a snowball that's going to plow us over. Small little aspects, well, that's when we can really get into them. We can explore them and understand them more fully, adding to that understanding and, well, excitement and interest in what it is we're trying to achieve. We have invested interest and we're gaining fulfillment and understanding in those smaller pieces. And soon, just like a puzzle, those small pieces add up. We start to see that bigger picture. And I will give you that warning that our big picture is nowhere near what a big picture really is. We can't see that bigger picture from this perspective. Even our astral family struggle to see that bigger picture because they're not a high enough vibration. Big picture, you're looking at that universal perspective, archangel perspective. And we're going to end off on question 7. What blessings does Arthur have for my Snowflake Obsidian friends? The Ace of Pentacles. Aces are a gift. That pentacle, growth, and abundance. The more we're able to work down this path, start to work with those little pieces and aspects, the more we're going to see that growth occur, that garden become lush, that path exciting and beautiful. Again, it goes back to that invested interest. When things are going well and going right, it's a lot more enjoyable. And the universe, fortunately, loves to reward us. The more we have that understanding and movement, the more abundance and growth we have. And as we go forward and as we're starting to pick up these pieces and we start to incorporate it into that puzzle, we're planting more seeds throughout our journey and allowing different aspects and pieces to grow, to thrive, bringing in even more abundance. The more we work on ourselves, the more we're working on and working from that authentic person, or the more we're working from that authentic space, the higher our vibration. And the higher our vibration, of course, that abundance, that growth follows. The higher our vibration is, the more we're able to understand and receive those messages. We're relying more on our intuitive powers, our intuitive skills. And that intuition guides us even more. So this really does become a very positive, rewarding system when we start to access it. The universe brings in more abundances. We feel more invested. We're rewarded for what we're doing. And we get more guidance and more understanding. And these small steps start to align us to that soul's deeper purpose, where we're finding that fulfillment, that joy and prosperity that we're looking for. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and that you're able to gain some insight and direction to what Arthur and the Arthur Waite deck want to share with you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. There is so much more amazing coming your way, my friends. The best way to stay connected, so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight and healing, is to subscribe to my channel and hit that little red bell so you don't miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. And I know lots of people have them. And of course, I've got lots of tiers and perks as well. And those perks, you're looking at free readings and healings from me. Additionally, I have a Patreon exclusive library of videos. I enjoy supporting those who support me. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Snowflake Obsidian friends,